All right. Uh, Sheriff Mike Tregre, St. John Sheriff's Office. We're at the Lloyd B. Johnson Training Facility here in LaPlace. I want to thank all the media for coming out here today. Let me start off this press conference first by offering our condolences and sympathy to the family members of Samaya McLean, age 11, and Ron Tate, age 50. These were two totally innocent human beings. The little 11-year-old girl was visiting St. John Parish, had come here to help plan and set up for a 3-year-old birthday party, which was supposed to be this past Saturday. And Mr. Ron Tate, a citizen of St. John Parish who had been living here for years and years, he was at his home that night where Samaya was with the rest of their family, and he was preparing to go to work. He drives an 18-wheeler by trade. Both were totally innocent and oblivious to what was transpiring on the street outside of their home. Before I get into all the details, I also would like to commend and thank the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Joe Pinto for their valuable and immediate assistance in this case. This case, with our agencies working together, was the very definition of teamwork. Next, I want to thank the members of St. John Sheriff's Office, from the dispatchers to patrol, to crime scene, and SWAT, and detectives, many of them that's standing right here by me right now. I want to commend them on their commitment and dedication to St. John Parish and the effort they gave to solve this case. I actually had to send them home Saturday for a few hours just to try to get some rest because they had been out since almost midnight Friday night. They simply refused to go home. I made them go home for about 3 hours and they came right back. This all started with two suspects, Cortez Foster, age 23, and Mr. Patrick Maxson, age 26, a convicted felon. Both of them were together when they pistol whipped a female outside of a football game this past Friday night in LaPlace, which started out as a verbal confrontation. At some point after the pistol whipping incident, themselves were attacked and beaten. They wanted revenge, so they drove their vehicle to a subdivision in St. John Parish, Sugar Ridge subdivision, where they were planning to shoot a person that was responsible for assaulting them. They drove to Sugar Ridge subdivision, got out of their vehicle, firing multiple rounds at their intended target. The target was walking in front of the house where the 11-year-old and 50-year-old were planning a party for the 3-year-old. Multiple rounds fired, 6 vehicles shot, as you will see in this video. Investigators connected the dots because when we were at the hospital checking on the victims who were shot, we also had a victim at the hospital who was there because she was beaten from being pistol whipped at the football game. Those two investigations is where we connected the dots and realized that Foster and Maxson were involved and responsible for both incidents. And this is where technology came into play. Our crime cameras told the story. We tracked the suspects to Sugar Ridge subdivision, where they exited the vehicle and fired multiple times. They fled the area and we tracked them to Jefferson Parish. 5:22 a.m. Saturday morning, both suspects were taken into custody on the pistol whipping case as we gathered evidence on the double homicide investigation. So at this time, we will play the video so you can see exactly where investigators took this case and how they solved it.
Yeah, if you could dim the lights, that would be great for the part.
Brenda, you can walk them through it if you'd like to.
All right, can you speak by the microphone if you're gonna, is that possible? So we can hear you while you're doing it?
All right. The main focal point in the video is going to be this white van in the middle. You're going to have the two suspects. Suspect one is going to be right in front of the hood, behind it, and then suspect two will walk from the rear side and go to the back bumper there. You'll see the muzzle flash gunfire as one of the suspects runs away toward, I guess, the back side of the video. That street here, he'll run, it's technically west on the street. He'll continue to fire as he's running his back turned, and you'll kind of see that in the video.
As you can see, the suspect running away in the background, behind the white van running down the street.
Colonel, if you could just back it up a little
Yeah,
bit to
can
the
you run that
beginning.
one more time?
Play it again.
Failed to mention a little bit earlier, in the bottom of the screen, the TV here, there's a subject that's going to walk by. We believe that's the target that they were targeting prior to the shooting.
And he was not shot?
He was not shot, no ma'am. Go way back.
But what happened when they shot at him, he's directly in front of the house where the 11-year-old and 50-year-old was shot.
There.
Right, that's your intended target right there. And was not struck by gunfire. How many rounds you estimate were fired?
Close to 20, 25.
We'll show it again when we conclude here with questions, Q&A, and then we'll play it again, let you come close if you need. Any questions at this time?
Sheriff, would you call these men essentially cowardly? They assault a woman, they get assaulted, then they choose to target the people that they think assaulted them, and then ended up killing an 11-year-old girl and her uncle?
You have young people that do not capable of handling conflict and resolution. They're just not capable. We know them. We know one of them very, very well, Mr. Foster. My investigators are very familiar with him. To have a fight and pistol whip a female, first of all, is quite disturbing. But then to go and try to actually shoot in a neighborhood and just multiple rounds with an assault weapon, I can't understand it. So that's about the best I can answer you on that.
What kind of weapon was it? Did you all, like, from the caliber?
I'm going to hold off on that for right now because the investigation is still very active, and we don't want to be able to say. We want to be able to say if somebody said it was a handgun and it was a rifle and it was a rifle and not a handgun. We don't want bad information. We want to keep that information close to the chest right now.
Sheriff, did the intended target live in that neighborhood? They live on that street?
Any idea? The intended target, is he a resident over there in that neighborhood?
It appeared that the target was a few houses down. There was a gathering outside of a house. We do know that was where the individuals were that were involved in the earlier altercation. So we're unsure exactly that specific target he lived in the area because we haven't been able to identify him as of yet. But there was a specific house that they were targeting.
And he wasn't struck at all?
Well, we haven't spoke to him. We haven't found him yet.
Can you name the charges that they're now facing?
I'm going to supply all of that to you in the folder. My public information officer will give that to you. But the most important counts are 2 counts of first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. There were 3 people actually shot. The 11-year-old, a 50-year-old, and another female in the home sustained a graze wound to her leg.
Was she related to either the
It's all family.
What was the relationship?
They're all family.
They were all
I don't know the exact relation, but we can get that for you.
And Sheriff, you mentioned the partnership with Jefferson Parish. Where were they in Jefferson Parish when they were picked up by the sheriff's office over there?
We tracked them, and Jefferson Parish took it from there. It's somewhere, I would say, off of Severn.
Okay.
What was the football game this all started at? Which schools were playing?
It was at Joe Keller Stadium, the East St. John Stadium. Now, let me be clear, all of this took place not even close to the stadium, but a ways away, but not, I don't even believe it's on school property, but it was close proximity. So, but it had nothing to do with the football game at all.
And so the intended target that you said you guys haven't found yet, is he potentially facing any charges for the initial assault that I guess they were retaliating from?
That investigation is still continuing.
Do we know who that person is, the intended target?
Let me say this to you, right now, everything we have is more from the victim who was pistol whipped or our technology. There's not a lot of people that came in and knocked on our door, even though we have people out here that were involved in that dispute, that pistol whipping incident and subsequent fight. We would like for them to come forward. We would love to speak to somebody who was there and witnessed everything that night.
The suspect, one of the ones, Patrick Maxon, he also allegedly pistol whipped this person? Or,
They were there together and they both were armed.
okay,
And as far as I can tell you right now, they were both involved in pistol whipping this young lady.
So both are accused, or both are booked with pistol whipping?
I don't know if that part is accurate. Can you say they both were charged?
Maxon was charged with ag assault because he was keeping the crowd back with his weapon.
So
Jackson has aggravated assault, Foster has the actual battery?
that sounds correct, yes.
and anybody, so this was not affiliated with football, homecoming, or, that's unclear?
We have nothing to suggest they actually made it to the football game or homecoming. This happened outside of the stadium in the grounds, the school grounds, separate.
Is anyone a high school student right now that you all know enrolled in St. John Public Schools?
Everybody we have that I've just spoke of, no one's related to, nobody was there for the football game from what we can tell. Or they never made it there because all of this transpired outside of the stadium.
This is in the parking lot of the stadium, outside of the parking lot, on the street corner. How close to, the football game is mentioned, so how close is it to the football game or the grounds itself?
There is a subdivision, there is Bell Point Boulevard, and there's a lot of field area between Bell Point Boulevard and school property. So it's somewhere in between, I would say in the field area between Bell Point Boulevard and the stadium itself.
This is during the game, after the game, before the game,
Maybe I get more, but detectives might be able to tell.
It was during the game.
during the game?
During the game.
Do you know the age of the victim who was pistol whipped?
Got the age of the female who was, she had to get medical attention, you know her age offhand.
Not right
I can get that for you.
A teenager, early 20s?
Over 20,
Early 20s.
early 20s.
No students were involved.
Sheriff, from a personal point of view, how are you feeling about like just this crime in general and the loss of these two people?
Well, the people that lost their lives tragically, and I still don't understand that, but young people trying to resolve violence with weaponry. I don't agree with Governor Jeff Landry on everything, but I do agree with him on one thing, and that is the death penalty. And I think that we have cases in this state where we need to start showing people there are consequences for your actions, especially in cases with no doubt. We're making arrests, we're solving cases, but I know this state hasn't, I'm not aware of an execution that was carried out in quite some time, but I do agree with him on that. It might be time.
Yeah, 11-year-old girl lost her life.
A case, of course, this case still has to go through the criminal justice system, but we have other cases that I can tell you about. It's probably time. I agree with him on that 100%.
Was the targeted house right next door to the victim's house?
I would say
A few houses down.
Few houses down.
Speaking to your crime cameras, yet again, you've been able to locate the suspect and handle, or have JP kind of help you out with that. Speak to a little bit about the growing technology you guys are using in the Parish.
Well, we have 350 crime cameras. We build them in-house, right here at the sheriff's office. We order the components, they get shipped to our department. We assemble the team. I assemble the team to put them together and build them. I bought a bucket truck, and we have them out here. Crime cameras, license plate cameras, they're a game changer. Technology is the way a lot of agencies are going, and we all interface and communicate with each other when crimes take place. That's how law enforcement is becoming more and more successful, through crime cameras and LPR. So this was another case where, my thing, sir, is if we didn't have crime cameras, where would we be in this investigation? So they're paying off, and of course, I don't know, that does not bring the family any comfort that, that this tragedy happened. Again, my sympathy and condolences to the family to lose 2 family members in one house and one night at one time. I spoke to the mother of Mr. Tate, and, it's just a real bad situation. I mean, I don't know what else, I don't know what I could say to him. Wish there was something more we could do, but at least we tried to give them justice by apprehending the 2 people that did this. So let's move forward with this investigation. Hopefully we get justice for both of them. That's what we're gonna be waiting to see what happens.
And Sheriff, I know you said things still have to play out in the criminal justice system, but advocating for the death penalty in this case, again, just more clarity as to how you see this playing out.
Well, not just, I have some other cases of I've been sheriff 12 years. I had a few other cases that's pending, and they're death penalty cases, but I got one that was convicted of killing one of my officers, and he was sentenced to death. I'm ready to be there when it happens. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this case, but we feel like we have a good case with physical evidence in this case. So we'll see what happens when it goes through the criminal justice system. But other than that, yes, I believe it's time to start moving forward with some of these death penalty cases that people have going through the system, and they're just sitting there. So I think it's time to send a criminal element a messaging. So that's where I stand with that. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. If you want to come closer and see the video, if you need me to dim the lights or y'all want to get closer to it and get a better view, we will do that for you. If you got any questions for myself, I will hang around for a little bit. And Letice over there with her hand up, she will make sure you got your packet before you leave. But thank y'all for coming to St. John Parish, and thank y'all for airing this story. Appreciate your time. Thank you.